Hello guys, how are you? Today we have another episode of these reviews and we are going to talk about grammar, the perfect tenses. First, let me show you a list with regular verbs. Here remember that I showed you this before and I told you not to worry about them because they are very easy. If you can see, pay attention to the base form, but what I want you to pay attention to especially is to the simple past and the past participle column, okay? Here is the base form, here is the simple past and the past participle that I was telling you. We have the same verbs that we have in the simple past, we have them in the past participle form. The important thing here, or the most important thing to do, is to memorize the rules that I explained you before for the ed pronunciation, okay? That's the important thing. The other is, don't worry about the past participle because it's the same. For example, baked, baked, okay? The ed ending though, it's important and is relevant to practice. The ed, it's always a little difficult for us. So for example, we have begged, begged, baked, baked, okay? And then this is the one that you should have in your notebook, and it's irregular verbs list, okay? You can find a lot of the lists on the internet. So I want you to go and check the 3 columns. We have a lot because we want to include as many as we want, right? I don't recommend you to memorize them though. What I told you before is try to practice at least 10 every time you use a past participle verb list, okay? That's my recommendation, 10 by 10, because I don't want you to get all the information at once. It's not a good idea, right? So here we have the base form, the past simple form, and the past participle form, okay? As you can see, they behave in different ways because they are irregulars. So some of them change, some of them stay the same. Let's see the first example, awake, awoke, awoken, right? So in this case, it is 3 different forms of one word, and it's the same recommendation, okay? Try to, every time you use them, try to memorize at least 10 of this list because it's a lot, and I don't want you to get a lot of information in your heads. So the important thing is that we need them for these perfect tenses, okay? So you can check them as many times as you want. I recommend you to use them a lot and to pay attention when you are listening to movies, and to watch when you're watching movies and when you're listening to music, okay? So this is always important. Now, this is something you must have with you. We already presented this, but I'm going to explain you again. Let me go directly to the present perfect. Okay, in the present perfect, we have an explanation and then I will show you some examples. It says, the event started in the past and is continuing through the present, okay? That's when we use the present perfect. Remember, it's formed by your subject, has or have, plus the past participle. Here's the have or have. Remember, we need a subject. Sometimes it's have, sometimes it's has, and then a past tense verb. It's always like this. What is confusing is when to use have and when to use has. And then the past perfect, I have good news for you because we are going to use the same form regardless the subject. We use it when both events happened in the past, okay? Remember, any subject is going to use had and the past tense verb, okay? You will see some examples later. Then let's move to the future perfect. The future perfect says, the event started in the past, but might continue into the present. I will show you some pictures to see what I'm talking about. And then all of them use will have. All the subjects, you have your subject and then will have and then the past tense verb. Okay, remember both lists that I showed you and that you can look a lot of these lists on the internet or the one you have on your notebook. Okay, I think after this I have a few examples. Let me see if I can go directly to the examples. The first one that I chose is this. And my present perfect example is I have seen this movie. Just like that. I have seen this movie, okay? So it means that I've seen it and it's true, right? The question is, have you seen this movie? Okay? So if we want to make a question, we only have to change the position of have and the subject, and that's it. It's very easy to make your sentences in negative forms and in this case question. Now, this is past perfect. Let me explain you about it. The example is Pedro got stuck in traffic because there had been an accident. Okay, now in here, we have two events. One that happened in the past and that what happened before that past. So for example, if this happened, it means that first there was an accident and then he got stuck in traffic. So when you use it is when you talk the past in the past, what is behind the simple past, okay? This is when we use it. The question would be, had Pedro been stuck in traffic because of an accident? Is the same thing as in the other example. It's very easy to make a question, but we need to change the order of the words, okay? And then let me move to other examples that I have for future perfect. Okay, let me try to see if this moves because I don't remember how much time I took. Here's the example. Finally, this is the future perfect. I will have finished my homework by dinner time. So it means that this girl was planning to finish homework by dinner time, right? Sometimes it's not what it happens, but it's what I'm very sure that it's going to happen at certain point in the future. In this case, dinner time. The question would be, will I have finished my homework by dinner time? Because sometimes you wonder that, sometimes you ask yourself this kind of questions, and that's when we use the future perfect, okay? So then we have the question and the affirmative sentence. Okay, guys, I have a game for you. For this game, you probably know this name is Never Have I Ever, and I want you to put your hands like this. So you're going to put fingers down for everything you say yes, okay? Give yourself 1 point for each thing you haven't done, okay? So we're going to see, we start like this, and let's see if we are going to have fingers up or none of them, okay? Depending if you have done these things. Have you ever broken a bone? If you say yes, you can put 1 finger down. If not, you continue like that, and you still have your 10 points. Number 2, have you gotten lost at a supermarket? That happened to me, so I'm going to put a finger down. I'm not going to play, but you can play. Don't tell me the things when you say yes. Only check the points. Number 3, eaten something that fell to the floor? Yes, no, I'm not going to say no, but I cannot tell you the truth. Number 4, have you ever written an email to a friend? And number 5, have you ever been to another country? Now the number 6 is, have you ever completed a whole video game? But I'm saying a whole video game. I mean, starting and finishing it. Like whatever kind of video game you decide. Number 7, have you ever had a pajama party, right? Maybe you organized it or maybe you went to other people's houses. Number 8, have you ever eaten sushi? That's another question. Very easy. I don't know if you are going to say yes. Number 9, have you ever watched Star Wars? And the number 10 is, have you ever been camping? I want you to put your points, depending how many numbers you got. If you say 1 or 2, I don't know, 0, 10, put them in the comments below here in the YouTube video. So I want to see how many points you got for this game, okay? So you don't need to tell me what things, but only tell me the number. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this game. Thanks for watching. As always, don't forget that I love you. Bye-bye. See you in the next episode.